One crying baby could have erased you from history. Not a famous baby, not a king's child, just one small ancestor in your bloodline, born thousands of years ago in a world with no hospital, no medicine, no baby formula, and no emergency help. That baby could not walk, talk, feed itself, or understand danger. And danger was everywhere. Cold could kill. A fever could rise overnight. A river could take a toddler in seconds. A predator only needed to hear one weak cry in the dark. If one tired adult made one small mistake, left the baby too far from warmth, missed one cry, ignored one strange silence, your family line could have ended there. No war, no disaster, just one baby gone. And your branch of the family tree would never exist. We usually talk about ancient humans as hunters, tool makers, and fire users. But before any child could grow into one of those people, someone first had to keep that child alive. And that was a huge problem, because human babies are born extremely helpless. A baby horse can stand within hours. A baby chimpanzee can cling to fur. But a human newborn cannot do either. It cannot run, hide, feed itself, or stay warm properly. The reason is the human brain. If human babies developed much longer in the womb, their heads would become too large for birth. So humans are born early compared to how much development they still need. A huge amount of brain and body development happens after birth. That means a human baby is not just small, it is unfinished. So the real question is not only how did humans survive predators, hunger, and ice ages? The real question is how did a species with babies this helpless survive at all? The answer was not one invention, it was a system. And the first problem in that system was warmth. Imagine an ancient camp after sunset. The mother is exhausted. A small fire burns nearby, but fire is not perfect safety. It warms, but it also smokes. It protects, but it can burn. For a newborn, the first danger is not a wolf, it is temperature. A newborn loses heat quickly. Today we use blankets, heated rooms, hospitals, and incubators. Ancient humans had none of that. Their incubator was a human body. The baby had to be held close. Skin against skin, chest against chest, arms around the baby. This kept the baby warm, and if the baby became too cold, too still, or too weak, someone could notice quickly. So the first rule of ancient baby survival was simple: keep the baby close. But warmth was only the first problem. By morning, the group still had to find food and water. Wood had to be gathered, tools had to be carried, and the baby could not be left behind. This is where one of the most underrated tools in human history becomes important. Not a spear, not a wheel, a baby sling. It may have been a strip of hide, woven fiber, animal skin, or cloth-like material. Most of these materials decay, so they rarely survive in archaeology. But the idea itself was powerful. Imagine a mother digging roots. The baby is tied against her chest. One hand holds a digging stick, the other pulls food from the soil. Without the sling, she has to choose: carry the baby or gather food. With the sling, she can do both. The baby stays warm, the adult keeps both hands free. The group can keep moving. The child stays away from cold ground, insects, sharp stones, and animals. A spear might kill one animal. A baby carrier could help a child survive long enough to continue the line. But carrying solved another problem too: the cry. A baby's cry is useful when caregivers are nearby. It tells adults something is wrong. But in the wrong place, crying can be dangerous. Imagine the group moving through tall grass. Everyone is quiet. A branch snaps somewhere. Birds suddenly stop calling. The adults freeze. Someone reaches for a spear. Then the baby screams. That sound could reveal the group's position. It could distract adults at the worst possible moment. So ancient childcare was not only about reacting after a baby cried. It was about stopping small problems before they became loud problems. Feed before panic. Warm before shivering. Lift before screaming. Move before danger arrives. A baby carried close could be fed sooner, warmed sooner, and calmed sooner. That was survival before the emergency started. But the mother could not be the entire system. She was recovering from birth. She needed food, water, rest, and help. If she became weak, the baby became weak too. So keeping the baby alive also meant keeping the mother alive. This is where the village mattered, not as a nice saying, as a practical survival system. Someone gave the mother extra food. Someone carried the baby while she rested. Someone watched the older child near the fire. Someone brought water. One parent alone can break. A group gives the baby backup, and one of the most important backups was often the grandmother. A grandmother might not be the fastest runner or the strongest hunter, but she had memory. She knew where roots could be found when fruit disappeared. She knew which plants were safe. She knew which bitter plant had to be soaked before eating. She knew how babies behaved before they became seriously ill. In a world without books, an elder carried information the group needed. Maybe somewhere in your ancestry, a grandmother saved the line that led to you. Maybe she held the baby while the mother slept. Maybe she remembered food when others did not. Maybe she warned the group away from bad water. Nobody remembered her name, but one remembered warning may have kept the child alive. Then came the next problem. Milk was not enough forever. At some point, the child needed real food, and ancient baby food was not neat or clean like modern baby food. There were no puree pouches, no blenders, no soft spoons. There was only what the group found: roots, meat, fish, marrow. Some food was too hard for a child to chew. Some was too tough. Some was dangerous if prepared badly. So adults used a simple method. They chewed the food first, then gave the softened food to the child. This is called pre-mastication. This is not modern hygiene advice. It was an ancient survival solution. To us, it may sound dirty, but for an ancient child, it could be the difference between watching adults eat and actually getting calorie. Chewed food helped children move from milk to adult food because it was softer and easier to swallow. Think about bone marrow. An adult can crack a bone and eat the rich marrow inside. A baby cannot, but if an adult opens it, softens it, and shares it, that food becomes available. So even eating required adult help. The child survived because adults changed the world around it. But food created another danger: poison. A toddler cannot tell the difference between a safe berry and a deadly one. A toddler does not know which plant burns the mouth, which mushroom is dangerous, and toddlers do not move carefully. They grab, they taste, they run, they fall. One step toward fire, one step toward a river, one hand on a sharp tool. A newborn is helpless because it cannot move. A toddler is dangerous because it can. So the group needed many eyes. The mother watched, but she could not watch every second. An older sibling pulled the toddler back from the fire. An aunt shouted before the child reached the river. A grandmother knocked the wrong berry from a small hand. A father moved a sharp tool out of reach. Not one perfect guardian, many people reducing the chance of disaster. This is how shared care worked. Danger had to pass through several pairs of eyes. Over time, warnings became part of culture. Do not eat that. Do not go there. Stay near the fire. Come back before dark. Some warnings became rules. Some became stories. Some became taboos. A child might be told that spirits live near the swamp. Maybe the adults did not know words like parasites, infection, or drowning risk, but the child stayed away. The rule worked. Sometimes an old superstition was really a safety warning passed down for so long that people forgot the original reason. Then night returned. Ancient night was not like modern night. No light switch, no locked room, no baby monitor, no separate nursery. For most of human history, babies and young children slept close to other people, near warmth, near milk, near breathing, near someone who could notice if something changed. This is not modern sleep advice. Modern bedding, modern rooms, and modern risks are different. But historically, babies were usually not far away from caregivers, and that mattered because a baby cannot explain what's wrong. It cannot say, "I am too cold, I am hungry, I cannot breathe well." A baby only has signals: crying, movement, stillness, breathing changes. Those signals only help if someone is close enough to notice. Maybe one of your ancestors survived because someone slept close enough to feel them move. That's not dramatic, but survival was often small actions repeated again and again. But even if a child survived cold, hunger, accidents, and dangerous nights, one invisible danger still remained: sickness. This is where we should be careful. Ancient life was not better than modern life. Many children died. A fever could kill, bad water could kill, infection could kill. A difficult birth could kill the mother, the baby, or both. There were no antibiotics, vaccines, modern surgery, or germ theory. Modern medicine is one of the biggest reasons child death has fallen so much, but ancient people were not stupid. They watched patterns. They didn't know what bacteria were, but they could notice that one water source made children sick again and again. They did not understand infection like we do, but they could notice that some wounds healed better when kept cleaner. They did not have pharmacies, but they remembered which foods, plants, or places seemed to make sickness worse. Every useful observation could be passed on. If one plant made a child sick, people remembered. That knowledge was not perfect, but for a fragile child, even imperfect knowledge could improve the odds. Now comes one of the biggest dangers: isolation. A human baby did not only need milk, it needed a working social group. The mother needed allies. The child needed watcher. Food had to be shared. Conflict had to be controlled. If hunters refused to share meat with a nursing mother, the baby felt it first. If a fight split the camp, the child lost protector. If one caregiver was alone for too long, mistakes became more likely. This is why kindness mattered. Not just because it was nice, because it helped children survive. For a species with helpless babies, social behavior was part of survival. Now look at the full system. Your ancestor did not survive because one hero saved them once. They survived because many protections worked together. Warmth helped, carrying helped, shared food helped, warnings, elders, and trust added more protection. None of these guaranteed survival. Many ancient children still died, but together these things improved the odds. A baby that was too weak for the world survived long enough to become a child. That child became an adult. That adult had children. And the chain continued, until eventually it reached you. Now here's the modern twist. Today we have solved many ancient dangers. Hospitals, vaccines, clean water, emergency care. These are huge improvements. We should not pretend the past was better. The past buried too many children. But modern life created a new problem. Many parents now raise children far from grandparents, cousins, and trusted neighbors. Far from people who can casually say, "Sleep for 10 minutes, I'll hold the baby." A parent can search anything online at 3 a.m., but still have no one nearby to take the child for 10 minutes. That's the trade. More information, but fewer hands. More safety devices, but more lonely caregivers. More technology, but less shared support. And that matters because the ancient human system was not built around one exhausted person doing everything. It was built around shared care. So the lesson is not, go back to the past. We should not. The lesson is simpler. Humans were never meant to raise children completely alone. A baby is born needing help. For most of human history, that help came from many people. The mother, the father, grandmothers, older siblings, the group. Somewhere long ago, that system protected one baby in your bloodline. Maybe during a cold night, maybe during a fever, maybe near a river, maybe when one tired adult almost missed one small sign. We will never know the exact moment, but we know the child survived. Because you are here. So when you think about ancient humans, do not only picture hunting, fire, caves, and tools. Picture a baby being lifted from cold ground, a grandmother softening food, an older sibling pulling a toddler away from flame, a mother sleeping because someone else finally took the child. These were not background details. These were the survival system. So answer honestly, did modern humans keep the technology, but lose the village? Comment yes or no, and subscribe for more forgotten history behind human survival.